ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, welcome to our February 20th meeting. This is kind of a special meeting. We were supposed to have met last Thursday, and we moved it to today to accommodate a few court members, namely myself. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. Terry? Oh, by the way, some of us aren't wearing ties and our jackets today because it's 70 some odd degrees outside. I've opened the windows and it's not helping much, is it?
I still have cold hands. So.
You do?
I do.
Let's see, Terry, I hope I didn't forget this. All right, go ahead.
Number 1, consideration for presentation A, proclaim March 1st through the 7th, 2018 as Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Whereas severe weather can strike at any time, causing extensive and lasting effects upon citizens, impacting lives, social structure, and the economy on local and state levels. And whereas Daviess County Emergency Management is charged with preparing residents for all applicable natural disasters, including severe weather. And whereas Daviess County EMA cooperates with local, state, and federal government agencies, National Weather Service, Kentucky Weather Preparedness Committee, and private corporations to prepare our citizens for severe weather. And whereas all in Daviess County are encouraged to participate in the 2018 statewide tornado safety drill on March 1st at roughly 9:07 a.m. Central Standard Time. Now therefore, I, Daviess County Judge Executive Al Mattingly, do hereby proclaim March 1st through the 7th, 2018 as Severe Weather Awareness Week in Daviess County, and urge all public and private institutions as well as residents to note its observance and take necessary actions to prepare and protect people and property against damage from severe storms. Visit the Daviess County Emergency Management Facebook page daily for severe weather safety tips, and go to ready.gov to learn how you can always be prepared. Andy Ball, our EMA director, is here. Andy, let me give this to you, and then you can say a few words.
Thanks, sir.
And while Andy goes up, I'm just as a reminder for those who've been in this community a while, January 2000, we had a severe tornado come through, I guess out of the blue, and caused extensive damage throughout our community. Nobody thought it was going to be here. Nobody knew it was going to be here. It just blew up a storm all of a sudden. Andy, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Judge. Just real quick, we're doing this in conjunction, as the proclamation stated, with the state. NOAA does these across all 50 states, and this just happens to be the week that Kentucky's doing it, which is March 1st through the 7th again. The tornado drill we will participate in. My staff will go throughout the county, and if the city allows some of their agencies, it won't be all at 9:07. I don't have the staff to do that, but that day we'll use to do tornado drills with as many agencies that are willing. Social media will have blasts all week for Twitter, Facebook. We started using Instagram as well, so we'll do it that way. So make sure that you're going to our Facebook pages daily. And then we also, lastly, will program weather radios throughout that week. So any citizens that want to come in, make sure that their weather radio is working right, or need it programmed because they just purchased a new one, we'll do that for them. It only takes a few minutes. And then I talked to Paul Nave, and we've agreed that just like last year, we won't operate the sirens during the tornado drill. We will do that on normal time, noon on Fridays with the normal tests. Questions, sir?
Question or comment? Andy, thank you very much. Just talking about Facebook, I'm glad you're going to put it on there because that way everybody knows whatever they read on Facebook is true, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Next item.
B, Treasurer's Report for January 2018.
Mr. Hendricks.
Cash at the end of January was $34,068,436. The general fund was $16,404,196. Through January, all the funds are performing within the expected range.
This is just a report. A copy of it is in our offices. Commissioners, any question or comment? Mr. Treasurer, would you, before somebody asks us where we got all that extra cash, tell us why we got so much extra right now?
Because the majority of our tax revenues comes in December and January, so this would be the high point of our cash year.
Okay. Any other question or comment? There being none. Oh, we don't have to do that, so next item. See, if Jenny was here, she wouldn't even let me go there.
2, consideration for approval. A, minutes of the February 1st, 2018 court meeting.
Motion approved.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, you all had a copy of the minutes in your packet for some time. Any questions, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Again, I have a motion and second to pay all the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Any question of the treasurer? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
C, audit engagement letter with Mountjoy, Chilton, Medley, and advisors to perform the DCFC fiscal year ending 2018 audit.
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks, would you explain this to us?
This is a standard audit engagement letter. We have used this firm in prior years and have been satisfied with their work. I had checked with the state APA, the state auditor's office, to make sure they're not going to do our audit this year, because they do it about every 4th or 5th year. They have declined to perform the audit and granted us approval to contract with a CPA firm. Again, we've used this firm before to do a good job. I would recommend approval.
Question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
D, contract with Gardner Engineering for transfer station services.
Move to approve. Second. I have a motion second. Mr. Brasher. Or, I'm sorry, Jordan. Is it you or Mark? Either one? Mark, you kind of chose it. So, David, you do it. That way they won't get mad.
Yes, sir. This is a budgeted item, or the big start of a budgeted item. The transfer station, since it's open, has frequently had failures with its floor. We've got 2 issues. First of all, the constant scraping of the loaders. Metal off the loader tends to scrape off the top layer of concrete. In addition, when the building was constructed in-house, the pad was not put in properly. It was very wet, too large of lifts, and so there are voids that cause the floor to crack through. In consultation with the county engineer, we decided that it would be wise to have a structural engineer come in, look at the what we could do about the base, and also maybe give us ideas about a better way to put a different type of concrete down that may hold up better to the stress of the loaders.
Okay.
So this is a contract to provide that engineering service.
When was that original base or pad constructed?
It was about 1993, 94.
1993. So I was just saying that so no one thought that this fiscal court or this engineer.
I can tell you what the most amazing thing is, after it was constructed, we drilled a hole in the wall where the trucks are, and as soon as it drilled through, water shot out to the other side.
Yeah.
That's how much water was in that.
We just, at that time, that won't happen to us this time, will it, Mr. Engineer?
Well, I think Mark was in charge.
I don't believe so.
You don't believe so, or you don't know so?
I wasn't here then. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I think the answer is no, it won't, Judge. Any other question? Yes.
I have a question. Whenever, if we decide to do the floor, how are they going to do that? I mean, we can't shut
We do it
down
half at a time.
half at a time?
And we only, I think, it's almost staggered. I think one half has typically failed before the other half. So there's only one half right now that needs to be done.
So will we only do that half?
Yes, at least initially we'll only do that half, but we'll have it evaluated for the whole project. But no, we'll have to divide it up, and more than likely it won't be done until the fall, because of that's when we have less trash coming through in the winter, fall and winter time.
And we really, the only thing that we need to worry about, David, I think, is the regular trash, not CD&D. Regular trash we have to address every day.
Right.
And we have the city garbage trucks that come in there and dump it every day. So, okay. Any other questions?
Question: will we be pouring this pad in house, or Mark? Will your crew do this, or who?
With our workload, and this is a pretty significant pad, we would hopefully decline to do that in-house.
So we just take bids on that at the time.
Once we have a design finalized, yes, I would suspect we'll put it out to bid.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
E, Kentucky 2018 Waste Tire Management Program Agreement.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Smith.
Yes, every 3 years, the state of Kentucky will do this waste tire grant. So they've approached us because we're at that 3-year mark. The dates are June the 14th to the 16th, and it will be done at the State Highway Garage. This gives the public an opportunity to bring tires, passenger tires, vehicle passenger tires, not large tires, to the site to dispose of, and at a central location. And so the county agrees to provide some help to that, including a truck and a trailer to haul it off.
Is there a limit?
I don't believe so. The state just takes whatever they get in.
Okay, so
this is not. We also have an annual grant program
this
that pays.
This is the one.
This is the one that's a mass program that the state covers.
Will you make sure that this gets on our Facebook page?
Yes, sir.
And our web page and goes out over to the city and ask them to put it on theirs as well, so that we can get us. I know I get calls about this all the time from folks wondering when it's going to happen. So
when we get closer to the time, we'll make sure it's publicized.
Any other question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
F, contract with Vomac truck for transfer station trailer number 172 floor repair.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Smith.
Yes, as you recall, I think a couple of months ago we approved one of these trailer repairs, and I think we had a couple of trailers. We remarked at the fact that even though these trailers were near the end of their typical life, that we had evaluated them and decided that they were in good enough shape that it was worth spending the $12,000 to turn the floor as opposed to getting a whole new trailer. This should buy another 3 or 4 years of life. So we put it out for quotes again, and Vomac was a low quote.
The $12,000, $13,000, that's roughly 25% of the cost of a new trailer. We get 3 or 4 additional years out of it. It's well worth the cost to repair it. Any question or comment? Question or comment for the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
G, hire Jay Fogle as a temporary solid waste heavy equipment operator upon approval of Kentucky Retirement System.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Smith.
Yes, as you all may recall, Jay Fogle retired at the end of June last year, and currently at the landfill they're dealing with a couple of issues that are causing a lot of extra work. We have the, as Mark's aware, because the county engineer's office, road department's put a man out there. We've got an excavator emptying out a detention basin. It's taking, so it has to put it off into a dump truck. So one of the landfill workers has to be operating the dump truck. Because we're at our fluff lift, as you all may recall, that when we open up a new cell, the first 10 feet of trash has to be uncompacted, and it can't have fine material in it. So currently, all of our sewer sludge and all of our fly ash is going up to the top. So we're effectively running 2 landfills right now. We're still dealing with stuff at the bottom, and we're having to go up to the top and deal with it. And then the last component is when we're on a fluff lift, it means all this rain that we get just goes straight through into our leachate pipes out to our leachate tanks. So we're running leachate trucks all day long. So because of all of this extra work going on, we're wanting to hire Jay back as a temporary solid waste heavy equipment operator for the next month or 2 until we get all these projects done. As of yet, he's not been approved by the Kentucky retirement system.
Question or comment?
Why does he have to be approved by?
Once you're retired, you cannot come back to work until the state approves it, so that they're confident there's been no pre-existing arrangement to allow them to double dip. And they are aware this is temporary; it's not a permanent, but they still require us to fill out the same paperwork.
If he's temporary, do we still have to pay our portion of retirement?
I don't think we do, because he will be treated just like, I don't know unless there's a special reason because he's a retiree, but I don't. Well, he would be seasonal, so he's going to go over the 100 hours, but he'll only be
in a month, but in a 6-month period. No.
Yeah, he won't hit it for the 6 months.
I can just say my experience with that has been that I had to pay that. The employer had to pay the employer's share during that time, even for some part-time people.
Okay.
To me, it just depends. If they treat him like we do our parks workers,
right?
You know, the parks workers we don't because they're considered seasonal.
Right.
But I don't know.
That's a retirement. When you have a retiree, it's
he's
different.
already retired. It may treat him differently.
They were never in the system. Those seasonal employees were never in the system, and that's.
So
I think that's going to be the determining factor. Okay. Okay. Any other question? When you say temporary for a month or 2, it always worries me. Is it a month or is it 2 months?
I would guess it depends on it's probably be 2 months.
Okay, not to exceed?
Not to exceed 2 months.
Okay. So we don't have to put this in here, but you have the understanding.
I have the understanding if we show up 10 weeks from now, I better make sure he's gone.
Okay.
Or I get your all's approval for more.
I think 8 2/3 weeks would be okay with me. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
3, consideration for appointment. A, Wally Taylor to the Property Maintenance Appeals Board, his term 2/25/18 to 2/25/21.
Move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, Wally has served 1 term, has done a good job on I think the 1 appeal that we had, Claude. I can't just 1.
So far, only 1, yes.
Yes, and that's an indication of how well we wrote the ordinance. And I appreciate him being willing to serve another term. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
B, Carl Worthington to the Property Maintenance Appeals Board, his term 2/25/18 to 2/25/21.
Motion approved. Oh, second.
I have a motion and a second. Again, Carl has served 1 term on the board, did a good job on the 1 appeal that we have, and I appreciate him being willing to serve another term. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
4, consideration for discussion. A, other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Keep that streak going. Next item.
B, public comments.
This is a time during our meeting in which we invite the public to come forward to the podium, identify yourself, and you're welcome to speak on any item other than what was on the agenda.
Judge, if you will permit me, I'm going to return to court. So,
sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claude. Yes, sir.
Good evening. Mr. Mattingly, my name is Harold A. Wilson. I live at 2362 Georgia Lane, Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm here to represent the community. Hope I can get this up here.
That's good.
I'm here to represent the community of Stony Brook subdivision.
Stony? Is it
Stony Brook.
Yeah.
Stony Brook subdivision. We've been there about 100 years. My family. So we're a very proud community. About 12 years ago, we finally were able to get sewer lines into our subdivision. The previous Daviess County Court helped us tremendously in getting that process done. That process had been tried over 40 years, and I and one other person took it on ourselves to work and go through the hurdles and the hoops to get it done. We had a lot of help from Reed Hare, who I'm totally indebted to because he helped us so much. Bruce Coonsey, Mike Riney, those people really helped us get this going because also David Halls, the health department, and we called them all together right here in this room, and it was packed. They explained how it works and what we had to do, and we went through that process, and we made it possible, and we have now sewer lines, which now also sets up our neighbors who are building a new subdivision. So it's pretty easy for them. All they got to do is hook on. They don't have to go through anything. Stonecrest subdivision is going to be a very nice subdivision. Mr. Mike Martin is putting a lot into it, and I appreciate that. We're going to have $300,000, $400,000 homes, they tell us. And the way it looks, it will be. We're about the $150,000 range. And we know how money talks. We're at the lower end of the drainage system, in which, Mr. Mattingly, you're at the top. We're very concerned about flooding. And I have a paper here I'd like to hand out to explain our concerns about flooding.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Sir?
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I told Mark I'm not shaking because I'm nervous, I'm shaking because of old age.
Probably worked out this morning, or I'll see you there this afternoon. You probably were at the health park earlier, or I will see you there this evening.
Oh, yes. My wife's name is Claudia, and I bring that to attention of Mr. Mattingly. He told her the other day he didn't know who I was. She came home and told me, she said, I don't know him. We, the residents of Stony Brook subdivision, want to draw your attention about concerned about drainage and flooding related to Stonecrest subdivision. Where I live is called Stony Brook. I think now we need to change the name to Stony Creek because in the last 35 years it has doubled in size because of time. No reflection on the new subdivision at all. It's just nature. It is large in some areas. In a previous roadside meeting with the county engineer, Mr. Mark Bratcher and Mr. Mike Coger, along with the residents, Mr. and Mrs. Mike McKay, Harold Wilson, and one other resident, the issues of 2 retention basins were discussed. The county engineer told us at that meeting with Mr. Coger that there were to be 2 retention basins built. Since that meeting, we have been told by Mr. Mike Martin's engineer at the City Hall meeting that Mr. Bratcher signed off on the design having only 1 reservoir and 1 wetland. Other information given by Mr. Bratcher indicated that the number of cubic feet of water per second would be dispersed, would be less than we historically experienced, with the design having 2 reservoirs. Matter of fact, I recall it being almost a third less than what we had had before, which was great. With the current design, planning for 1 reservoir and 1 wetland, we would appreciate reassurance that the result will be the same. We were satisfied with the 2 basins, and that it would take care of it, and all were pleased at that meeting. However, we now have concerns that only 1 basin may not take care of the increased possibility of flooding. We were told by one city commissioner that we need to carry flood insurance. We're not in a floodplain now, and we need confirmation that after construction of this subdivision, this will remain the case. Our question is that before the county engineer signed off on the design, did he review the water runoff calculations to show that current design would give equivalent or decreased flow into the Stony Brook subdivision ditch or creek? Now only 1 basin and a wetland. We would like confirmation that the wetland will suffice for the replacement of the 2nd reservoir. What assurance can be provided to the residents of Stony Brook neighborhood that flooding and erosion will not increase and will be remedied if needed? The other concern is about the sediment being deposited downstream, where recently there is already a lot of buildup. The existing reservoir has experienced landslides and erosion that has been deposited into the bottom of the reservoir. The county engineer told us that the county will not help clean up the ditch, nor provide any equipment for such. The previous fiscal court helped in these matters. Why has this policy changed? The old court used to help us when we had problems like this in subdivisions and areas, and now we've been told that they won't, or you won't. We appreciate this matter being considered now before problems arise after the construction or a bond is released.
If you'll have a seat, Harold, I will try to get you a few answers. We're not going to be able to answer every question that you've had this evening, but I will have the county engineer address a couple of them. First of all, I would ask, I don't know what you're doing talking to a city commissioner. They wouldn't have a clue. They probably don't even know how to get out to your subdivision.
We found that out.
Now, I'm going to tell you that flooding, yes, flooding is always a possibility. It floods now, and whatever they're doing up there should not make it any worse. I think the county engineer will confirm what I'm saying. But that subdivision, thank goodness we were able to get RWRA to come out and take you into that collection system, because the septic systems out there were atrocious. And the reason they were atrocious was that all the water off that upper watershed flowed through your subdivision, through the septic systems, into a ditch that's on the west side, southeast side, maybe, southeast side of the subdivision. Now, being a plumbing, heating, cooling contractor, I'm pretty familiar with that subdivision because we were getting calls all the time, help us, and my statement always was get RWRA to come out there. If you're not in a floodplain now, you won't be in a floodplain unless there is some change. Now, you say that you're not, Mark, I don't know if they are or not, but I cannot believe that anything that they're doing up there is going to change that. I would tell you that the Corps and Division of Water, I guess generally the Corps,
that's what I was going to say, is they're reevaluating that.
Reevaluating floodplains right now, and they do it about every 10 years. I know when I was on the city commission, I went through I call it two reevaluations. Some people are taken out of the floodplain, some people are put into the floodplain. But the fact that, I don't, have you checked it yet, Mark?
Yeah, it's pulling it up now.
Okay. While he pulls that up, the OMPC meeting that you had at City Hall, that's the one that I think it was the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission, and probably they were looking at a preliminary development plat.
There was amended.
Okay.
They had an amended preliminary development plat that went through planning and zoning a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
They are currently not in the floodplain based on current maps.
Okay, based on current maps, you're not in floodplain. Doesn't mean that in the future they're not going to put you in a floodplain. It would not be a result of what goes on up above you. It would be, actually they would come out and they would take shots of the elevations, look at historical data.
More accurate information based on elevations and so forth, models.
As an example, we are participating with the city in what's called LIDAR, which is going in, and instead of 2-foot elevations, they're going to get it down.
2 is what's currently used.
Right, and now they're going to be down to 1/4 of a foot, 4 inches.
3 inches.
3 inches. So that shouldn't be a concern. All the information that was submitted to OMPC and all the information that was reviewed by our engineer was actually provided by their engineer. And I can say with certainty that our engineer reviewed that information as far as accuracy. And if they made an amendment to that plat, they would have had to do a hydraulic study.
That amendment, they
didn't have anything to
did
do
not
with
have. They shortened a cul-de-sac to allow 2 properties to be combined, I believe.
The question regarding 2 basins.
I don't recall 2 basins. Actually, I think you met with some highway department engineers also.
On the original plat, there was 2 basins.
On the original plat?
On the original plans, there was 2 basins.
I'm going to ask Mark to look at what he reviewed. You'll have a copy of it.
Yes.
We'd like to know why we went from 2 down to 1.
Well, it could be that their engineer came with a different hydraulic study and said this will handle 1 basin and 1 wetland. I've never heard of a wetland being used, but I'm not in that business.
I'm not familiar with any plat that showed 2 basins. I can call their engineer and see if they had some preliminary stuff that was out there.
We'll check. We'll check that for you. Now, as far as, and I just want to get down to the real crux. County will not help clean out the ditch or provide any equipment or a retention basin. We do not. In the city will clean retention basins and they clean ditches. That's why you pay twice the property.
But I'm not in the city.
No, I understand. I'm just telling you that's why you pay twice the property tax inside the city as you pay in the county. County does not clean retention basins and or ditches. Now, if the ditches are paved, have a paved bottom, now I don't want to overstep, but if they have a paved bottom, once they have been taken in and approved by the county, then we will go and muck those paved bottoms out. But as far as ditches, and one of the ditches that I am familiar with is the ditch that comes off of that property through your subdivision and on out to southeast to a ditch, because I was out there 2 years ago, and a neighbor, someone that lives in your property, had put a wooden footbridge across it. It flooded, drove the bridge into the culvert, and flooded over the street and everything else. So you've got a lot of information. I will look at it, and I will personally make sure that we address those things.
When you look at that, please look at the lake, the dam up there at your lake. Look at that, because if that breaks, you won't have to worry about us. We'll be gone.
Well, hopefully, by the time it gets to you, it's going to be about 3 inches, and yeah, but those dams are inspected and they are maintained. We have a lake owners association, and we pay money into the maintenance and inspection of that dam, just as I'm sure this property should have a homeowners association. And they will be paying money to have retention basins cleaned out and any other things done.
I believe it's a general note on the approved plans that it's maintained by the homeowners association.
Right. Okay. So there's a lot of questions here, some good questions, some misinformation that's been put in here, probably he said, she said, I heard, but we'll get to the bottom of that. And in effect, there's not a lot of change between what this court has done and what the previous court has done, because we've been involved in subdivisions that were built during Reed Hare's tenure and Judge Norris's tenure, and those basins were not cleaned out by those courts.
I'm not talking about basin. I'm talking about the creek. We didn't have basins in.
Okay,
but what I'm talking about right now is we've got riprap, and I asked him to come out. Well, I asked Charlie to come out and talk to me. He sent Mr. Bratcher.
Yes. Okay.
And
that's
we've
fine.
got riprap all the way up and down when they built that sewer line.
Okay.
And the county did that. This court did that.
Shame on the county for doing that. That's all I can say.
So, and I appreciate them doing it. But if not, we'd have a creek that's 3 times as wide.
Sure.
I want to thank Mike Hoger for coming out and helping us.
Okay.
And I want to thank Mr. Bratcher for coming out and helping us.
Sure. Harold, I will take a look at it. Mr. Bratcher and I will try to get a letter together and respond to it.
And I'm speaking on behalf of
those
who have
and I've got those names. Hope you don't mind. I just wrote all over your original thing. Okay. Thanks, Harold. Appreciate it. And tell the folks that we'll look at it and get back with you. Okay? Sure.
Judge, would it be appropriate if we set up a meeting and have them come and look at my file and look at the drainage report where they can see?
Well, let's look at your file, make sure it has everything that we says it has, and if it doesn't, we can make sure it does.
I looked at it this week.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sure. If I don't think they need to do that. They just need to know that when you reviewed it, it showed 1 basin and 1 wetland. Yeah. Sure. Okay. All right. I forgot where I'm at. Oh, public comment. Next person. Next item.
C, comments by Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Mr. Caslin.
Pass.
Mr. Coger.
Pass.
Mr. Wathen.
I too will pass.
Well, this is a kind of a special meeting, and one of the things I wanted to talk about, or one of the things I wanted to say, is we're going into our budget session. The next month and a half will be just fun and games, won't it, County Treasurer? We have a lot of things that the state is passing down to the local level. They've never funded it, or they had funded it in the past and they decided to quit funding it, and now they pass it down to us and want us to fund it, but they don't give us the ability to raise the funds to do it. So I know we have a pension issue that's coming up. Here we are, the 20th of February. We don't know how the pension is going. I know the KERS, which includes the Kentucky Teachers Retirement, the county employee retirement, which includes cities, the state retirement includes Jim, did I see, aren't there 200 members? They've got all these little health departments and economic development folks. It's such a quagmire that I don't know. Health departments are in there. So anyway, folks, stay tuned. We'll see what's going to happen. I hope that we have enough money to fill all the potholes. Can you assure me that we do, Mark?
We can do our best.
Golly, you're starting to remind me of that old city engineer that never answered a question. Yeah. All right. With if there's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, without exception, we're adjourned.